What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how you guys can improve your hands in 10 minutes. This is going to be a 10-minute long video to break down all the things you guys need to do to be a better pass catcher and be a more consistent catcher of the football. First things first, though, fellas, to be able to get to those situations where you catch that ball, you got to be able to get open. So if you guys want to improve your route running in 10 days, check out that very first link in the description, 10-day route running program. All the specific drills you need to do, step-by-step drill schedule to help you guys improve your route running in only 10 days. And everything builds in that program, fellas. Hope to get you guys on that soon. Again, very first link in the description for a 10-day route running schedule to improve your route running and just make you a better overall receiver. Let's get started. So first things first here, we're going to be talking about the key thing when you guys are catching a ball and you guys are catching that bullet pass. I get that question so often when this quarterback puts some heat on it or when he puts this thing out of my range. What do I need to do to make sure that I come up with this catch? So let's watch this Calvin Ridley route right here. So you see he's going to be working the stop route. He snaps it down. Quarterback throws it a little high and he's able to snag this thing, right? So first things first, that when we catch this ball, I think that everybody needs to understand that your eyes are what catch this thing, right? So you see when he goes up, the main thing that follows the football are his eyes. You want to think of it like that ball, you're trying to catch it in a picture frame. Everybody's seen a picture frame before. Everybody's seen that like a portrait, like a self-portrait, whatever it is in a picture frame. The whole picture's in the frame, right? So you want to think of your eyes as the frame and that ball is the picture within the frame. You want to catch it in that picture frame. And you see how you can see it's a little blurry because how much speed that ball has. But watch his eyes. You see how his eyes go with the ball. That's the key there. You want to make your eyes, you want to see the ball hit your hands. That's the terminology that I use with my receivers. So the first tip to making sure that you guys catch that ball and just to make sure that you're consistent with that is your eyes, right? So a lot of other key factors play in, right? So you want to make sure that that ball stays in your fingers, not bouncing off your palms. But you want to see the ball hit your hands. If you guys can do that, if you guys can see that thing just go right into your hands, every catch you have that slight pause, that picture frame catch, that will help you improve your hands, okay? So now we're going to be getting into those jump ball 50-50 catches. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So he goes up. Great job staying with that thing. Now let's get to this 50-50 ball. So main thing when you guys go up for a 50-50 ball is you want to go up strong. You want to pull this thing away from the DB and make sure that we secure this thing, okay? So I wanted to include this because I know so many people struggle with this, right? So let's watch it full speed. So this is a goal line fade situation right here. Not the most separation in the world, but the quarterback puts this thing above the rim, and we got to be able to go up and make this play. And you see how he pulls it behind his head. So there's two ways you could do this. So now, this is the point that makes or breaks, guys, because some guys will go up nice and soft. They'll go up here. They'll have a weak grip. And this DB, you know what he's going to do? He's going to be playing your hands. He's going to be trying to do his best job to get a PBU and rip through this thing. PBU's pass breakup. He's going to be trying to rip through that grip and just knock this ball completely out of your hands and be physical, right? He would rather get pass interference called than give up a touchdown, right? Especially when you're in close and you really don't have all that much to lose, I guess you can say. He's going to be trying to rip that ball out of your hands. So you guys got to go up extremely strong with this grip, and you want to make sure that you secure it. So you want to catch and then secure. And what I mean by secure is protecting the ball. So what you need to do is there's two things. You can either rip away and face your body away. So you could either turn your backside and put yourself between the defender and the ball, or what you could do is put yourself between the defender and the ball by pulling it back over your head, as you see this receiver does. Anything to pull outside of the range of this DB. You see how high he's able to get up with his arm. If we hold this thing out in front of my head, he's able to just knock this thing out and knock this ball out of my hand. So I want to pull back. You either want to pull back or shield and turn away with your body. Those are the two ways that you secure this thing. So make sure, right? I go up strong. Same thing applies as the first clip that we talked about. My eyes go to this thing. I see the ball hit my hands, and then I catch it, strong grip. I secure it, I rip it away. When I say strong grip, I don't mean you want to go up with hard hands. You still want to have soft hands, but you still want to look this thing in. But you catch it, secure it. You want to be strong at the top and pull this thing away from the DB to make sure that we secure the catch, right? Let's watch this thing again, full speed one more time. So great job coming up back over the top here, securing this thing and ripping it back over his head, okay? So now, let's talk about this catch here from Dez Bryant. So this is going to be an over-the-shoulder catch that you guys can get a little bit better on, okay? So now, the main things that I want to focus on here with any kind of over-the-shoulder catch is the eyes aspect of it, but also your hands want to be a little bit late so this DB doesn't have time to react. So let's watch it full speed. So you see Dez gets a little bit of separation off the line, kind of a wider angle, doesn't really work to restack all that much, but you see how his eyes follow this thing, but how late his hands are. He's not showing his hands early, right? So that's something that a lot of people get wrong about this. They say, oh, you want to show your hands as soon as possible so you cut down, you know what I mean? It cuts down the time the ball goes to like fall. Like you don't want to you don't want to catch this ball down here because it's going to be very hard to make that play, right? Now, again, that is kind of true. You don't want to let that ball drop all the way to like your knees or something like that and try to catch it there. But your hands do want to be late enough to where this DB cannot react to him, okay? So if you're here and this DB's on your back hip, he's not supposed to be looking back for the ball, right? We're the ones looking back for the ball. He's going to be playing my hands. He's supposed to be watching my hips as I'm running downfield. And then when that ball comes in the air and he starts to feel me slow down, that's when he makes a play on my hands, right? He's not supposed to be looking back for this thing. So you see when Dez, he's extremely late with his hands. He's not showing his hands super early. He probably could have been a little bit later, but he ends up catching this thing right around chest level. And I think that's something that separates a lot of different guys. Like when you have receivers out there, and I see it because I work with receivers, is that when you see a guy who's maybe got offers, scholarship offers, right, and you see guys who maybe don't, or maybe trying to, or maybe not in the same level of play as a receiver, when that ball's coming over the shoulder, they're so confident with it. Like they're so relaxed. They watch that thing fall. They're able to track it with their eyes all the way, and they have that late handle where that DB can't react. Same thing, but you see guys who are maybe not as comfortable with it, and that's that difference, right? We're always looking for that difference between that D1 caliber receiver and that receiver who's maybe not there yet. They'll be running downfield with their hands out, right? So they'll stop that arm drive, right? So you see how Dez is here and he's pumping those arms. They'll stop that arm drive around maybe 2 steps before and start running with their hands out. That's not what you want to do. You want to be late with your hands so the DB doesn't have time to make a play, but also so you can continue to widen the distance with this guy and continue to run from him so your hands are late so you could get under that ball, right? The guys who slow down, try to misjudge it, those are the ones who struggle over the shoulder. So make sure that I'm late with those hands, and you see Dez, his eyes see the ball hit his hands. So many people struggle with that. So many questions I get asked about, oh, what do I do when it's over the shoulder, over the shoulder, over the shoulder? Well, this is the exact blueprint to get better at catching over the shoulder. Your eyes see it hit your hands. You watch it hit your hands. You make sure that you're late with your hands, okay? So let's watch this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Dez working this thing over the shoulder. So it gets a little bit of separation. This is all the separation you need when you guys are confident with your hands and you make sure that quarterback puts it on a good ball, okay? So now, let's look at this route from Antonio Brown. This is another example of when you want to be late with your hands, and it kind of goes against that old myth of, oh, you must always catch with your hands out in front of you, right? So let's watch the thing full speed. Now, you see a lot of smaller guys do this, especially over the middle, but especially in traffic. You see how he's letting this thing get into his frame, right? So this is a catch. I would consider this a catch in traffic because of how well this DB played that thing, right? He does a good job of accelerating out of the break to getting to that spot, right? They're just winning the race from the DB and winning that race to where the quarterback's going to put this ball. But when I'm in traffic right here, especially when you're going over the middle and you're running a dig, why would you give that DB an opportunity to make a play? He's not looking at the ball. He's not looking at the ball. He's looking at us, right? And that's this is like a perfect example of, like an intelligent receiver, knowing the situation, knowing a DB's technique, because you got to be able to know your opponent to know yourself. You see how late he is. You see how that ball, he just lets that get right into his frame. He catches that here. Everybody loves to make that excuse like, oh, you don't want to catch with your body because it'll bounce off your pads. Yes, you don't want to just wear the ball into your shoulder pads, but if you let this fall right into that little like gap right there, like your stomach, and you're still watching it in, your eyes still follow this catch all the way in, but that makes your hands late. Now, this is going to be a controversial thing. A lot of old school receiver coaches are going to say that this is incorrect. You want to always catch with your hands out in front of you, right? But when you see guys going over the middle in the NFL, because of how much heat the quarterback puts on the ball, because of how much they want to, if you make that catch, you don't want that ball to pop out. You don't want somebody to knock it out. I'm not saying when you're running like a little 5-yard drag and you're wide ass open to have the ball bounce off of your chest like that. I'm saying when it's in tight, this DB is going to be able to make a play if you stick your hands out. You got to make sure that we secure this ball. So you want to be as late as possible in traffic so the DB can't play your hands. You let this thing just fall right into your chest, right into that pocket where he can't make a play on it, and the ball's already at the tuck. Everybody talks about, oh, you want to catch tuck, catch eyes to tuck, right? But if you're here and you're over the middle and you're late with your hands and you let this thing get inside your frame like that, and it's just right to that tuck, DB has no opportunity to make a play. So the last thing I want to talk about today, fellas, is that when you're in traffic, when you're running in traffic over the middle, whether it's to the sideline, nice and tight coverage like this, the ball's on a line. It's not above the head. If it's above the head, obviously you have to go like that. If it's below your waist, you have to go like that. But if this ball is on your frame, you want to be late. Let that ball maybe get, I'm not saying you have to wear it like this and catch it here. Maybe you're late with your hands. Maybe you catch it with your hands, but you're late with your hands. That's how that DB doesn't have time to react. So that's how you can be a better pass catcher over the middle. Let's watch it again, full speed one more time. Great job by AB making this catch in traffic. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, if you want to improve your route running in 10 days. 10-day specific program to improve your route running. Check out that very first link in the description. All the route running drills you need to do to become a better route runner and get open. If you guys have any questions at all, leave those in the comments. I will get back to you as soon as possible. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you guys next time.